Right, I've just actually filmed my charity shop haul, and I thought I would now carry on and film my car boot haul. It was just me and hubby that went. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, the partners won't be interested, but sometimes it's nice to have a second pair of eyes. I do like to obviously look at each stall and each row. It depends on the timing, obviously. Sometimes we may just sort of keep an eye out and look both ways. It depends on how big the car boot is and what time you have. Admittedly, we did get there about 9 o'clock. Sellers were actually said they were starting up about 6, 6:15 time. They were actually queuing, I understand, after talking to them. They were queuing to actually get in the farm and set up. Now, it was a rather large car boot, and I must admit, I'm glad we went when we did, because a lot of sellers were actually packing up about 11 o'clock, and I think it's because they were there quite early, for one thing, plus obviously the heat. It really, by about 11 o'clock or just before 11, it was extremely hot, and I must admit, even me and my hubby, we were lagging by that time and possibly getting to the end and had enough. But I will share my haul, and I hope you enjoy it. Right, the first section. Now, one of the things that was on my list, I thought I was extremely good actually, and tried to keep to certain things that I was looking out for. And this is one item I didn't think I would actually get off the car boot, was brand new socks, and I do like my socks. Now, it was 4 pairs for £1, and they're all brand new. And the first ones, I mean, they have actually got £2.50 on these, but as I said, all the socks together total was £1. And they're these little frog socks with the little frogs up, and another froggy pair. So I do like my socks. I haven't bought any for a long time, but I've started to get my stock back in again. These Winnie the Pooh ones, and the last pair is these lovely cozy socks with the little piggies on the back. And these I love wearing, especially in the colder weather. They're just so nice and soft to keep your feet warm. Now, the next two items, again, I was being very careful what I bought. And we did actually run into some family members while we were there. It was quite funny, actually, texting backwards and forwards, where are you, you know, and it's quite nice actually. And it was a bit of a family get together even. Now, the first item is for my granddaughter, and I could not resist this. Now, this is by the make Cheeky Monkey, and it will be her winter coat this year. And I think it's so gorgeous. It's so soft. I have actually washed it, and it's come up amazingly well. And it's like a silky dot material inside. So I think that is such a beautiful coat, and I'm sure her mum's going to love that. The other item I thought was very sweet. Now, that coat was £1, and I wasn't even going to try and haggle because I thought that was an amazing deal. And then after I bought the coat on the same store, I sort of went along and I saw this. I thought, how gorgeous is this? Again, I've just washed this up with the little tutu bit there. And this is by Next, so that is obviously quite an expensive shop. And the buyer just turned around and says, oh, just give me 50p. So I thought that was beautiful. And to tell you the truth, although I have washed these items, especially this one, it didn't look as though it had been worn. There was no wear and tear on it at all. So I'm sure, again, my granddaughter and her mum are going to love those. Now, it seems every haul I do, there has to be mention of Christmas. Heat wave outside. People are going to watch this. They know me. They know I'm Mrs. Christmas. And hubby would just roll his eyes. But I just had to purchase this beautiful plate. It was 50p. I do have a gingerbread theme in my kitchen at Christmas, and I just could not resist this. It does say the White Barn Candle Company, Idaho, USA. It says microwave and dishwasher safe, but I just want it as a decorative plate. I don't think I'd actually use it, but this sort of thing I like to probably just set on my breakfast bar, maybe with some sweets on or something like that. I just think that's beautiful. And let's face it, I can't go through a haul without buying something related to Christmas or keep up for Christmas. The same seller, I bought this cravat. Now, I like using these as vases, and this was 50p. The plate was 50p, if I hadn't mentioned that. Now, this lady, she was a lovely seller, and without even being told, she says, oh, just give me a moment, and she wrapped the two items up in bubble wrap, and she even put them in a lovely bag. I mean, I couldn't really say anything more about her. She was amazing and lovely to talk to. My family members know that when I get talking, and they're just used to it. You know, anybody and everybody, especially if it's a subject that I like. And she had some gorgeous things on her stall. Most things were 50p. Let's face it, we do like those 50p item stalls, don't we? But again, I was trying to be very careful and only buy things that I basically needed. Not necessarily should have bought, but I try to limit myself, because I know whatever I bring in my home, I know the equivalent has got to go out. Although I have got an actual big box of items to go to the charity shop, so I guess that could cancel everything out. It just keeps me in check and makes sure that I'm not reclutting my home up. I'm trying to keep on top of it. But it's also nice doing it this way, that you can afford to change pieces out and have different things, or wear different items even. Now, the next item I have here is this beautiful mug. Can't go out without buying another mug, and as I said on a previous haul, I have now got to take out the equivalent of mugs now to compensate for the new mugs that I've actually purchased. So I just think that is a beautiful mug. Let's face it, it's lovely, isn't it, to have a nice cup of coffee or cup of tea and a nice mug. Now, the next section is what I call entertainment. Now, I know CDs are going out of fashion. I still like to listen to a CD, whether it's in the car, at home. Trying to get rid of a lot, I must admit, but this one, I loved it. And we actually did play it in the car. After we left the car boot, we did start playing it, because we had to go to the other side of town and we had some errands to run, so we was listening to it. And I must admit, it is an amazing CD. Even if we just have it for a little while and get rid of it. But I know I have got a whole batch of CDs to get rid of, so again, I think that compensates. Can't go to a car boot without buying DVDs. The first one, Snow White and the Huntsman. I love this movie, and as I probably said, and I will say it a number of times, we tend to buy a few DVDs when we go in our caravan, because we can watch them, get rid of them, or pass them on to another member of the family, or go to the charity shop. Now Robin Hood, I did buy another Robin Hood movie actually, from another car boot when I was on holiday. I do like Robin Hood, different versions of it. This one is the Time Traveller. I have not seen this, but it just sounded a very good story on the back, so I'm interested to watch that. These 3 DVDs altogether was 50p, so it was 20p each or 3 for 50p. So again, I thought that was a really good offer. Hubby kept an eye out for this, and it just happened to be brand new. This is something we needed. This cable, 3 meters, because the cable we had happened to be too short for what we needed. So I mean, this was brand new in its packaging, so brilliant, tick off the list, something we definitely needed. The last item I have to show you is my biggest bargain, and I kept my face really straight. In fact, it was my partner that's seen it. He was actually on the phone at the time with another member of the family. He happened to look down and he was going like this, and as soon as I looked down I could see what he was seeing. I mean, I was amazed that he was actually looking. It's probably because it was something that we researched for my birthday. I have got the bigger model and the up-to-date model for my birthday, and this is an older version, but I did look online and they do go from at least £50 upwards. It's a Sizzix machine. Now this is the small one. I do own the A4 size, which is the big one, which was quite a lot of money that I got from Hobbycraft, but this is the small version and I could not believe it. My partner does leave the haggling up to me. I don't mind, I must admit. If something's too expensive or they don't come down, and I don't think it's worth the price, I will just say no thank you and just walk away. This, was one of those items I was very surprised. I thought, yeah, it's going to be expensive. Ready to haggle, and when the gentleman turned around and said £2, I nearly died. I have tried it out. I was using it as soon as I got back from the car boot. Not 100% sure. It was a couple of fellas on the car boot. They did have a lot of stuff, a lot of bigger items like bikes and everything. I'm not 100% sure that they know what it is, I must admit, but for £2, who could resist that? And I say that is an amazing bargain. And believe it or not, it was really funny because it was the very last stall as we were going towards the car. So I love that. Excellent, great for crafting. I've been very lucky with my crafting just recently actually, buying items to get on with my craft projects, which I'm really looking forward to doing. I hope you enjoyed this haul, and thank you.